back there?
We're good?
Hey, welcome to everybody watching. This is Rachel Ross and Coach from Citadel.
Muffin said shut up. She can hear you. Muffin said shut up. She can hear you. Who? Oh, he said shut up. Hey, I ain't gonna leave you though. Come on, stop playing physical. Let's go.
Sub, ref. Step in, somebody. Go to the middle. Go to the middle. Go to the middle.
penetrated to her right hand on there, the odds would have been better. She went kind of back into a corner against 3, where she'd taken a rip the other way. She had 2 players on D.
So the inbounds play. Again, another familiar play with that ball coming back to the person who's the inbounder. Unfortunately, we have a travel call from on Freya.
And 15, Gabby Clive, is it? She
Yes.
came in a few possessions ago, yeah. So I think partly you might know this, but I think Citadel's going to use this game as kind of diagnostically as well, kind of see who's who and who fits together in what pattern, or, combinations, etc.
And I think early in the season,
Nice steal.
coaches should, at this point, be feeling things out with who their players are, what combinations work, because at the end of the season, it's a totally different.
Yep.
We're gonna have a foul at that final shot. So we have 2 seconds left.
And again, the foul, you're not going to accomplish much on that one. She's either going to make it or not. It's a tough angle shot at high speed. So don't take the foul.
Right, so we're going to see Ava McNack. She's now 3 for 3 from the line. Thinking she may not be the person to foul.
I believe I'm correct in remembering she typically shoots free throws very high percentage.
Finish like this quarter. So we're looking at a 13-point lead right now for Halifax West. But a lot of good things are happening on Citadel's side. They're moving the ball, like you just mentioned, Coach. They are finding those gaps. We have a couple of players, Sophia particularly, who's able to make those plays, make that extra pass, just not finishing yet.
And actually, they had begun to kind of close the gap a little bit, but then at the end, the West was able to get a little breakout and get a little bit more of a gap. So Citadel are going to have to realize that you're not going to get 13 points back in 2 minutes.
And that's where I think you win possessions. So possession, try to win your possession. And every possession, it's a defensive possession or an offensive possession, so there's no time to take off.
Yep.
Win your defensive possession, this closes the gap. Win your offensive position, this closes the gap. But as Halifax West is doing a lot of things well. They're finding those shots. They've shot from inside and outside, so that means Citadel has to play true defense here. There's nobody that they really can sit off on, so they have to be feet ready, arms ready, maybe pick up communication a little bit so that they're talking to one another and just cutting down some of the opportunities that West is getting. I will say that they have slowed the offensive rebounding, so you see them being able to get those defensive boards a little more consistently. So that's something that's going in their favor right now. And what I love about basketball is this quarter's over, and anything can happen.
Yeah. And the West are going to do what they're going to do. They play the way they play. They make you play at their tempo more frequently than you can make them play at your tempo. And so for Citadel, the challenge is how much can we, again, do the things that you were talking about. Biggest thing right now is that the offensive end have to find a way to get a few more points.
Right, and it may be in their advantage, which can go against what seems like reason is to slow the ball down and get those possessions you can score off on. So they, for breaks, they're definitely take it, but if it's not, work the offense and get those
Yeah, and that's the point I was making about the way West tends to influence how their opponent plays. They tend to dictate tempo. So what Citadel has got to see if they can do is can they neutralize that.
Ball's gone inside to Gabby. That's a perfect example of a good set to come in. They're going to get a foul, two shots off that play. So patience, they move the ball. A lot of hands are touching it. So we'll see if Gabby can finish on the line.
And you have to make your free throws. You know. Because one, if you get free throws, you are slowing tempo. Now you got to make them. Now again, go ahead.
veteran. That's just a veteran decision. She saw a bit of a mismatch there. And it might have looked like defensive position was there, but that little bit of a hesitation gave her that edge to get up to the glass, and she's on the line.
And again, in my experience, Allie's a very high percentage free throw maker.
So we're looking at 5 for 5 right now. So we see Kelsey come back into the game. I thought she was effective in that first quarter, so we'll see what she can do in the second quarter. Defensive pressure is there. We're in a man's first player to player. So they come out of the zone. They might want to put a little bit of space on the offense there.
Exactly. If you can space, the players do not have the basketball have to be conscious of creating space with their positioning.
And I think we're seeing this in the West side.
West does a great job of creating lanes and exploiting them. You'll notice that they're going to space to 3 pretty much consistently, space to the 3-point line and beyond.
So even right here, we see the attack, but there's the movement of all players on the perimeter. Nobody's standing and watching.
3-point attempt by Talia Metrev.
That's Talia, yes.
Yeah. Again, so far we haven't seen anybody from Citadel who can consistently be a 3-point threat, which is a factor.
Don't mind that shot though, so it at least is showing that they'll take it. So defense has to be a little more true. But nice slip. And a great finish there from Sadie Chason with that little bit of a slip. Looked like she's
a nice job responding to the D on that. Yeah, just bump and slip, as you said.
And then we're going to have an unforced turnover. This is one of the first, I think, that we've seen from Halifax West. So it's going to give the ball back to Citadel. A little bit of a momentum shift. They've had a couple of really good possessions. And we'll see what they do here.
They've got numbers right now. Ooh. And she traveled. Part of why the West plays the way they do is to test your ability to play at that pace, under control, in balance, and fundamentally soundly.
Right, and that, even though they had numbers, would have been maybe a space where you slow it down a little bit and get that set.
Slow yourself down enough to get a read, because the travel is something that happens when you allow yourself to be forced beyond the pace that you're ready to play at.
So I feel like Citadel's picked up the defensive pressure here, and we're seeing a bit of a panic offense here.
They are playing better D, and the effect is being seen in the way the West are responding offensively.
It's changing a bit of a momentum here for the West.
4 seconds. Good D.
It's going to be a shot clock violation.
Your observation absolutely correct. Citadel have been playing much more intense and actually basically more intelligent defense the last bit. And the West have been a little bit panicked against it and have made a couple of, there's a shot clock violation before that and a passing error.
Yep.
So, but now Citadel has to settle down on O and capitalize.
So we have Talia with the ball in her hand right now, being pressured by Lyric. And there's a nice little pass. Sadie gets her own rebound, and that opens up the lane. Again, another offensive rebound, and Talia, who started with the ball, finishes, and we're now within a 10-point lead for Halifax West, but you can feel the change in the gym right now. So we had Ava, who's come back into the game, and Sadie's got the ball. She's
terrible place to stop with the basketball, for what it's worth.
I can see what she was trying to do, though. You want to try to hit that cutter as she's coming through. Olivia's going to take the ball. She's going to end up with a foul. And this is what
reference, when you're bringing the ball up that sideline lane, the defense wants you to stop in what I call the coffin corner. don't go over that center line in that outside lane unless you know you can get the foul line extended at least. If you can't, cross over and head toward the middle circle. You'll avoid exactly what just transpired, which transpires at a very high percentage of the time.
So we have Olivia Logan on the line with her second shot. And she finishes on the second, so that's 1 out of...
You were talking about momentum. Momentum, you know, to really make a momentum shift, you've got to sustain a few possessions. And right now, the offensive side of that for Citadel will be the key, because they are definitely doing a good job defensively.
Okay, so we see Allie just is on the floor, and hopefully...
Didn't see the contact.
I didn't see the contact either. She seems like she's up and okay.
But
and the West will retain possession. So cautionary stop and play. Make sure the player is all right.
Let's see if Citadel can maintain that defensive intensity, get a stop, and then take better care of the offense and see what happens at that end.
So we have that handoff play again, bringing the ball back into Allie, who's was the inbounds passer. A nice attack, and she's going to finish with the and one play. So that's Ava McNutt, who's going to go back to the line.
And you know what? Dee wasn't that bad on that one. She made, but she stuck with it, and a little hezzy, and then she finished it well. Odds are she'll make the free throw.
So Halifax West has proven to be a very consistent free throw team, and that completes a 3-point play. Citadel's going to come back down. Nice finish.
Got herself under control. Again, has penetrated well throughout the game. That time was able to effectively go coast to coast and finish.
Another downhill move, and that's Ava Parker who's going to finish with those two. So right now we have good control, good contact on that, and that's going to move us into a timeout for sure.
Again, it's for what it's worth. I mean, it's the offensive end, and we mentioned O and D. Transition is part of O, and transition essentially is from the time you get the possession to secure the ball, then get the outlet and or dribble, breakout, whatever, and then get it up into the offensive quarter court. The West plays in such a way to make that difficult for you on makes and misses. When Citadel has calmly settled themselves down in attack, they've done a pretty good job. They've got to get that calm and that poise into the game more frequently against that pressure. And again, the way the West plays is designed to not let you do that.
Right. Definitely that aggression on defense. And I love that even, no matter what happens on their offensive play, as soon as they don't have possession of the ball, they're in defense. That sometimes isn't what happens with teams. It takes them a minute, and you can find that little moment where you can attack the D. But right now, they're moving into transition from offense to defense. There's very little gap time, so it's not leaving Citadel a whole lot of time to be able to find those little flaws in that space for them.
No, this is, whatever happens on the scoreboard by the end of this evening, properly addressed, this could be a very good game for Citadel.
I agree.
Because they're playing a very strong team, and they're going to have a chance to learn a lot of things.
So we see Sophia with that attack again. She
didn't have the angle, but she, as you said, she took the attempt, and because she had drawn a couple of defenders, easy put back for her teammate. That's off.
Good board. And didn't complete off that offensive board, so Citadel's going to come back, and this might be a place where they want to slow it down to get the possession they need. So we see Shayla Bayers just came into the game. She's a grade 10 player at the West. So that inbound handoff play that is going to give Olivia a 3. Definitely see a slow on the offensive boards from both teams. And good block.
It was about to be Citadel's ball. Yeah, I think with Citadel, again, you might know their lineup better than I think they've got a lot of inexperienced kids, despite whatever grade they're in. Because I know they had a lot of grade 12 last year that played most of the minutes. So it's kind of an ongoing experiment collectively and individually, I think, for Citadel.
So we're going to see Sophia Doss is going to draw this foul here on Olivia Logan. She has to play tough D. Olivia's proven to be able to attack the rim and find her outside shot. So, you know,
Olivia, as we said earlier, is one of the toughest single matchups in the City League.
So we have a turnover on that inbounds play. Nice
Nicely
pass,
done.
nice movement, and that is a good finish.
Calm, cool, and precise.
So Sadie Chasson finishes the 2 points at the rim, but I like the ball movement. The patience there is exactly what I think Coach Jasmine would want to see from her team, and we're going to have another offensive board.
Good effort by number 16 on that.
So we have Sadie going to the hoop, and that's going to end up at the line.
Is that Freya? Freya Ashcombe?
Sorry, nope, I think
Number
that's...
6, no, who made the
Oh, yeah,
defensive
that's
effort.
Freya,
Okay.
yes.
Great individual effort down there to save that.
So that's going to create a timeout.
Now, if Citadel can capitalize on this and then, again, defend, rebound, etc., they can begin to creep back into this.
Yeah, they're going to have to chip away
Yep.
at this lead. Halifax West is not going to give it back to them. So they have to be patient on offense. They're going to have to find, just like they did in the last couple of plays, they're going to have to find those openings, make them play defense for a longer period of time. Run your clock down until you find that opening. That's what I would think is going to be in their best interest right now.
Get stops, clean the boards, take care of the ball on the other end.
Right.
You know, and the take care of the ball on the other end has been their challenge so far, the primary challenge.
So we talked a little bit about Citadel's coaching staff. So we have Halifax West is also coming with some great experience as well. So we have Coach Trevor Walter, Phil Parker, who's assisting, Jonathan Bell. You know, they've surrounded themselves, Courtney Simmons, Courtney Donaldson. So there's some great opportunities from players to learn from people who have a wealth of experience in the game.
And again, in that case, a pretty experienced coaching staff as well as the playing. Because I know they've been together for a couple of years now, at least, right?
I believe so. So Sadie Chasson is at the line. She finishes the first of two. And Olivia Logan gets a defensive rebound. She has the ball back in her hands. She's looking to attack. Good pass. Good ball movement again.
One of the things about offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding, too, is when that shot goes up from three, most of the rebounds are going to come fairly long on the offside. And so if you can get numbers over there, you're going to have a better chance to get the ball back.
Again, we're going to have a similar inbounds play where the ball's going to come back to the inbounder.
Tough call.
Is.
Could have gone either way on that
Or
one,
a no
or
call.
been a no call.
Yeah, or a no call.
I'm a big fan of no calls.
Yeah, now the referee team is going to make sure they get the call accurate and it's going to be on the floor, which I definitely think that's the right decision.
Yeah, there was
She hadn't gathered yet.
Yeah, there's no way that was a shooting attempt.
Now she is going to go to the line because Citadel does have 5 fouls.
Okay.
So that takes Olivia Logan to the line. She's got the front end
That's a
of that
fairly
one.
rare miss for Olivia Logan, actually.
And she finishes the second. So Sophia Duss is back in the game after she went to the bench for a quick breather. And we see some nice ball movement with a great finish there from Sadie Chasson. That's what Citadel's going to have to do.
And the key to that was that Sophia got the ball off the sideline and reversed the floor, which enabled Citadel to make an extra pass and get very great interior positioning there.
We have Stella Niedermeyer with the foul on the...
A rare, who's this now? Yeah, this is Ava.
McNutt is on the line, and
She doesn't miss too often.
So she's going to finish the back end of that free throw set. I see they spread their offensive sets out a bit too, and I think that's going to make a big difference. So
they're doing a better job now. Part of the key to offense is you get an easy entry, and spacing enables that easy early entry. When they've had that several possessions, more possessions, higher percentage of their possessions recently than they were earlier. You're going to get better offense. Now they've got to make these free throws and ideally get more two for two.
Stella Niedermeyer on the line, and she's made the front end of the pair of free throws she has, and she's going to finish both of those. So that definitely helps. This is bringing them into 9 points with 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. You definitely want to go into halftime closing this lead and getting some momentum going. So that is good defense.
Great board.
Good board by Olivia, keeping that alive, and Ava with the shot, but Sadie's going to pick up that defensive board. Push the ball up the floor, and we have Stella Niedermeyer, who is going to collect the charge on that. And that's going to bring in number 5, Talia Metcalf, is going to come into the game. So we have Ava with the ball in her hand. We can see her finding that hole in the defense, attacking. She's going to end up at the line.
Again, because of her very high percentage of making free throws, I would tend defensively to contest, but not make sure you do not give any chance for a whistle to be heard.
You're right. And, Coach, we see 3 players there, so I think that's where communication comes in. So let people know, let your teammates know you're beat, or you have a bit of a gap between them. Even if you can recover, that slides the help over. But I think there was just that delay in communication, not sure what decision was, and then at the end.
Contest, make it difficult, make it a tough angle shot, influence balance if you can, but don't take the foul.
Ava,
she was only 1 or 2 on that one, though. Turnover.
But she caused the turnover with that defense again. We can see right away, offense to defense. There's no transition time in there.
The West style might be, I talked about intensity, might be considered pressure D, pressure roll. That this kind of their style is put pressure on the opponent with the tempo at which they play.
So we'll take a look at this inbounds play, and we're going to see that down screen.
Yeah.
Hand off again. Nice kick and a good shot. Good offense. They come back with the offensive board. We have Olivia coming in with a little bit of a floater. She's going to get that foul.
But again, it's a tough shot. If she makes it, it's a very highly skilled thing. But the percentages are not that high. Don't foul it.
Yeah, and I think she knows well enough how to, make the contact.
Olivia's pretty good at encouraging the D to foul her.
So she's 1 for 2
She's
from
again
the
only
line.
1 for 2. So there are opportunities here for Citadel if they can exploit them. They've got to stop fouling here, and because
So we have Talia with that
finish.
attack,
Oh.
and
it was there, didn't finish.
Halifax West is going to come back down the floor, and we see Talia is going to pick up that pass. I think the idea was there. Just Olivia was
I think it was
there.
a miscommunication, maybe.
So we have Frey at the top of the key. That shot's going to go a little bit long, and Lyric's going to end up with this rebound. Thought about that. Step back three.
Well,
So we have Davion who's going to pick up that 2 points. Nice
oh,
pass.
overshot. Might have been better just to take the layup herself, because if she did miss, the old board was almost guaranteed. Good
We see
penetration.
Maria Davion taking it to the hoop, so she's picked up a couple of points back to back. Have to pay attention to every West player. Literally every one of them has been able to take a shot or attack the hoop, so defensively, they're all threats. We see Freya pick up her own rebound, and Olivia's gonna come back down. So that's a 3-point shot.
And that's the first three that the West has made for a while, but partly it's because it was inside out on the kick, which the percentage made threes off inside out kicks are very high.
Nice take. So that's number 14, Sadie Chasson, who's finding that little bit of a gap in the defense. And I think we're going to have a charge here. So Olivia Logan's going to pick up that foul. Good defense from Talia Metcalf. So we can see how quickly the lead change happened. So we did see some momentum from Citadel, and they brought it into 9. We're up to a 16-point lead with 17 seconds before we go into halftime. I think that Citadel wants to make sure that they get a possession that ends up with at least 2 points here. And there we see it. So a nice take, a very good ball movement, and Sophia finishes that.
Yeah, the big thing is that Citadel's had moments, but then the West will score in flurries. And Citadel had kind of changed momentum a little bit, was creeping back in, and then a couple of errors, and the West, boom, boom, boom.
Right, and we talked about it before, so experience does count for things. We see that when Citadel has made that pushback, Halifax West has held their composure. So they got a little rattled for a second, but then they regrouped, and they know not to panic in those moments, right? So they're not going to see a little bit of a pushback and start to break down. So they just reset, and so they're going to go into the locker room right now with a 14-point lead. We're looking at 32-46 for the West right now. We'll see what happens after this halftime and how both teams respond, what they're going to do to regroup and finish out the last 2 quarters of this game.
Yeah, and the West are going to score if you look, they 25 at the quarter, I think 46 here, so 21 in the second quarter. Citadel actually picked up the row because they started to finish a little higher percentage of the attempts they got. They took a little better care of the basketball. They did actually what you were suggesting, which is take enough time, space, read, settle down, make good sure passes, and see what can happen. But again, I stand by what I said. The West is going to play pressure O, pressure D. How well Citadel can respond to that. And I do think for the coaching staff, it's a little bit of an experiment to see who among us can best respond to this, and how can we build a 5-some, a 7-some that can compete with the West, withstand the pace the West wants to play at, and then begin to find what is the pace we play best at.
I agree. Now, I think it's important to make note too, Bev, that Citadel right now does have a couple of their grade 12s who are not going to see the court tonight. So Macy Dobbin, who I believe played some significant minutes last year, I assume if she was on, that would definitely be a contribution offensively and defensively. And then we see an extremely athletic player, Deja Hooper-Dixon, who's not dressed for tonight's game as well. So this is a great opportunity to be early in the season, see who your players are, and when you get back and you have your full complement, it allows you just to be a little more creative and making decisions on who to play, when to play. But this is a great opportunity, and Jasmine has used her bench. I think we've seen
Yeah, they've definitely been shuffling, getting enough kids in. I think, again, they're experimenting.
Yeah.
And it is early in the season. And the key, really, at high school level in particular, is get to the playoffs, try to get a good first-round matchup,
Right.
and then see if you can build some momentum in the playoffs.
Right. So this is going to take us to halftime. And we'll be joining you back in about 7 minutes for the second half.
At least the Bears, the whole conference.
They got it.
She's 2 for 2 from the line.
And the arc and flow of those 2 free throws were much more what I'm used to seeing Olivia do.
The defensive pressure has not dipped in Halifax West. So we're going to see how Citadel responds.
Clock's running down.
And that's a good defensive set for Halifax West to
They ran
start.
2-1-2, 2-3, 2-1-2 zone in that one. Olivia in the middle.
So we're going to get a turnover
Angle.
on the other end. And good pass.
Tough position there. Tried to do the reverse, but and there is the reverse.
So that's another 2 points for Olivia Logan. Very active coming out into this third quarter.
And again, although the West are in a zone, they're in a real pressure, ball pressure type situation where the whoever is on ball and the ball's in her area is going to get up and really put pressure on. And the other 4 are going to adjust and so on. But they never relent on the pressure.
So we saw some pressure here on the inbounds pass from Stella Niedermeyer, and that's turned out into Citadel's favor. So they're able to keep the ball in their court. So we see the ball
Difficult.
pass trying to go into the inside and able
A little low
to.
on the glass. Nice take, but you got to get it higher in the glass.
And we have Allie McLean with a nice finish off the glass with the.
Back to pace. Back to pace.
Right, and we're going to see this again. You mentioned it, Coach, where these little like unforced turnovers are leading to points on the west side of the clock. So we're into a 20-point lead right now. So I think Citadel wants to be very cautious with their decisions here and intentional with what they're going to do with the ball. And we have an unforced turnover on the west side.
Now we'll see what happens at the offensive end for Citadel.
So Talia's going to...
Yeah. And, you know, use the apt word, unforced. In a sense, it's contextually forced for Citadel because the West are making them play in a way that they're not comfortable yet playing. They're going to have to learn how to become comfortable playing against that form of pace and pressure.
So we have Grace Galloway enters the game. She is a grade 11 student. And so we see Allie McLean hit that free.
Again, inside out kick, catches, rhythm, boom.
Olivia Logan with the steal. Didn't finish on that one. This may be a point to slow it down a little bit. Again, make sure you have the possession, or I could be wrong.
Well, interesting enough, she had been open earlier, and the first kick of the ball didn't see her. But
so that's Stella Niedermeyer for the first 3 points on Citadel's board of this half.
I think maybe for the game, first made 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. And we have a jump ball that's going to put the ball back into Citadel's hands.
Now, this is kind of like a 1-1-3, and then they match out of that at the top.
And another
Not a bad
3-point
look.
shot. No, it was a good look.
Might have gotten that back. But
Lyric LePage is very active on that defensive.
Lyric LePage is very active at both ends. That's kind of essence
You're right,
of
you're
Lyric
right.
LePage from what I've seen.
So the ball is going back down low, and that's going to be Lyric who gets it up over the rim.
Notice on that old board what Olivia Logan did was got the defensive player. The inside player had inside position. The defensive player did, but she got her to go too far under. So then ended up getting the old board. Again,
So we're going to see Jasmine Kane take a timeout and probably just get her team to reset.
A good timeout.
It is.
The way the half is opened has not at all been in Citadel's favor. And again, what we're watching here is a veteran team who've been good for several years that I'm aware of, with many of the same kids. And they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it very well, and they're going to do it at a high pace. Citadel, a lot of newness, a lot of inexperience, a lot of trying to find things out. So part of this timeout is right now, and part of this timeout is part of the longer term thing of can we begin to figure out how to play this kind of a team.
Right, and I think that Citadel is, when you look at the players, they're not getting dejected, so I think they're taking these as lesson moments, and you learn from them, and you use them as your season continues to grow and build, and you don't expect this to be the game that they'll be playing come February.
Again, this game for Citadel, I think, is primarily diagnostic. It really is.
So a nice high screen there to start the action, this play action. We're going to put the ball high
Nice
pass
gap
there.
feed.
It was, and you maybe want to make that shorter pass to get to that same location. We're going to get
Well
the
done.
offensive rebound, and we see Kelsey Matheson, who's finishing up on the board. She's been able to do this a few times. So
Note that she took her time.
she
on
did.
the
She
football.
has a very methodical shot. I noticed that even on her layup earlier. She's with that and one play, she's patient and methodical. And Olivia Logan gets her own board,
Missed
and
it,
she
but then
finishes.
was there instantly to get it back. She's a tough cover. She's a tough cover.
So Sophia is going to start the play action for Citadel. Pass inside, a
Idea
turnover.
good, but then you've got to read that it wasn't there.
And we have Ava Parker who's going to finish on that fast break.
The kick to the corner on that was there because the defense shifted in, took the drop off
Some
away.
of the things I thought were working in the first half for Citadel was their spacing, and it seems like they've moved a little bit away from this. They're a little bit close right here,
yeah.
even stretch your D out a bit, so those passes can be made a little cleaner. We have a three-point play,
Another good
and we
board.
see, again, Kelsey with a rebound and a nice turnaround finishing.
Yeah, the other thing go ahead.
So we have another
good finish by
breakaway.
Lyric.
Yeah, a good finish by, that would be...
Maria, I guess.
Yeah, Maria Davian, who's actually, she's been very active as well offensively and defensively.
The thing you're talking about, the lack of spacing, but also the lack of moving into lanes so that you can be easily available to the ball.
So that's Grace Galloway, who took that attack to the hoop and finished. Nice pass from Olivia and a good finish by Lyric. It looks like they may have done that a time or two before.
Well, again, Olivia's a tough cover because she can also pass. Tough finish.
That was great. Absorb the contact and then still control to go up and lay up that finish by Lyric LePage.
And again, that's something that she's very effective in doing.
There's Grace Galloway again, and that's 3 points for her. We're going to have to get some stops here.
Was it Grace who hit the first three as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Good turnaround. A little bit of a hook there. You're a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan.
Ooh.
And here we have Kelsey, getting that first board. And good positioning, way to be there.
Turnover, yeah.
Forcing the turnover. So Kelsey Matheson has been a big part of this Citadel team right now. She's doing some really strong things in terms of being active on the offensive board, getting them and either keeping them alive or finishing them. And then we can see even right here, patiently again, holding her position, knowing that the offense is going to have to turn into her and causing a turnover to put the ball
She's
back
been
in the
solid. You know, she understands what she can do. She hasn't tried to do things she can't do. And she's been effective for them.
I believe I coached her aunt.
Oh, really?
Yes. Many moons ago when St. Pat's was still
aunts
a
are
little
allowed.
high
When you
school.
get to grandchildren, that's when you're threatening my territory. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. When I asked you, because I thought the form looked similar when Grace made the three. One of the things Citadel needs to find out is who among us can, at a high percentage, knock down threes. Because thus far in the game, that hasn't been a factor. Clearly, if you watch the West, they can beat you inside and out. And one of the things that people with basketball, penetration and open looks. Effective penetration, finished, will get you open looks. Open looks, made, will get you penetration.
Right.
And if you put those two together and move the basketball and reverse the floor, you've got pretty good O.
Right. So I would say, Coach Bev, that Grace came off the bench. She took a couple of shots, so I'm going to think she's somebody who's feeling very confident in her ability to be that three-point shooter for the team.
There's another good look.
There we see. So that's Stella Niedermeyer,
Yep.
who she has some experienced minutes here with the Citadel team. And that's great for Jazzy to see her take these shots. She's been bringing the ball up as well. So, again, like you said, finding out who your players are and how you can use them further down the season is going to be important.
And I
nice touch off the glass.
Stella missed at least 1 3 earlier that was pretty well taken. So, again, that's part of what you're trying to find out, is who can do what for us.
So back into the zone from the West. And we see Lyric Etvik, who's come into the game. There's Grace again with a shot.
That one's a little rushed.
Good D. Halifax West is going to maintain this possession, and we see Maria Davion take that shot earlier, gets her board, and there's Ava Parker who's going to try that three.
Again, notice how frequently, if one of the West kids misses a shot in that sort of mid-range and in area, they'll get their own rebound.
Right.
They're going to be active to the glass. So defensively, you've got to be conscious of that. Don't foul. Do get a body, and then go get the ball.
And you definitely are going to have to box out these shooters,
Yep.
even when it's in that high percentage area, because it's a lot of those players, like you said, they're collecting their own board, so they aren't just shooting and stopping. They're shooting and coming right back up. There's a nice three-point play, nice offensive set off that inbounds play, and then we'll see Allie McLean who's going to hit that three.
And that one's by design. The inbounder steps back, maybe gets a little screen, and then gets the ball back for the open three.
Good board. It's going to
Taken away by Maria.
and great pass to Ava, but we're going to have a block
Good
here
do that
from
time.
Freya. So that's Freya Askine, who has the block, didn't let go of the play. I think we may have saw a couple of players earlier try to do that, turned into and one. So she positioned herself well to be able to prevent the offensive two and not have the foul. A great board.
Once again, notice what Olivia is doing there. She's getting the defense
Under.
too far under.
Yeah. And there's Ava Parker who's going to hit that three. So Citadel's going to have to make some adjustments here and making sure, as we just talked about, that offensive rebounding. And that's going to stay in their possession. Coach Jazzy might want to see what they can do slowing it down again. Like you said, you can't make up 30 points in one shot. So you want to run patient, intentional offensive sets.
And again, you're trying to find out how must we, Citadel, play against this opponent, very strong opponent, Halifax West. How must we, Citadel, play in order to compete with them?
So we see that handoff.
One thing I was going to mention is 16, Freya. She's done a number of good things off the ball actively in terms of rebounding situations to create good things for her team at both ends. They got the ball back on that one possession goal because of what she did offensively for the board.
So we're going to see this play again. The screen isn't set, so we don't see. And we're going to have a foul on the ground here. So that attack was by Sophia Das, who's been an important part of the Citadel team on both ends of the floor. She's been the start action for their offense, and here she's going to inbound the play, expecting it probably to come back to her.
Her penetration off the bounce has been the best for Citadel consistently.
Good kick. Patient, and that's Stella with the three. Good box out from Halifax West, but Citadel's going to maintain the possession of that.
Nope.
So we see Olivia Logan with a nice midpoint.
Notice she got herself under control, slowed herself down. Bingo.
And she's really strong at being able to make that contact with her defender, create the space, and then find the open shot that she needs. And we're going to have Sadie Chasson with that little bit of a underhand layup.
Not a bad take, but was well defended and couldn't get it up through the hands enough, high enough in the glass to put the thing through.
So the ball's going to come back. We're going to see a lot of movement here. I like that Halifax West, you see all players, even if they're not moving, they look like they're a part of this play. So it collapses inside. Good defense from Citadel.
And they got the 3 in the key call. Rare in basketball these days. But yeah, triple team that time.
So we have Freya coming back.
Almost set out of bounds. Careful.
Saw that a little bit too here. So, and Talia is going to take that shot. Not a bad shot. They were able to get a fairly good look at the hoop. So we're going into the fourth quarter, and we're 47-79 for the West.
So, West quarter, obviously,
Very.
on that one.
Yeah, and sometimes when you have that halftime, like I do think we saw Citadel pick up in the second quarter. I think you just mentioned it.
Yeah.
So, they had 12 points in the first quarter. They ended up with 32. So that, that was basically a tied second quarter with the points that both teams scored. But we see that halftime. Sometimes you have that halftime break, and it's like starting a brand new game, whereas Halifax came out as they did, firing in the first two quarters. So just little things like that you pay attention to, how you start your second half. And sometimes those things you need to be taken care of in the locker room even before you come out, making sure you have a bit of time on the court to get back in and get your legs moving. So when that tip-off happens for second half, your players are already a little bit warmed up.
And the other factor that often goes unnoticed, third quarter is frequently extremely important to how the overall game ends, and particularly the first 4 or 5 minutes of the third quarter. And if you go back and review this one and look what happened.
Right.
It's worth noting for young players and coaches and so on.
I'm sure you've been in a third quarter where you wished you had it back. I know I have had that experience sometimes against your teams, and I was like, I wish I had that third quarter.
We always tried to make players conscious, though, of what was about, the importance of what was going to happen. Now, again, it all comes back to who's wearing the uniforms. But these are factors that if players understand that and come out of that locker room with a certain intention.
So we have our last 10 minutes, and it's going to be West ball to start. We see Olivia is going to pick up a charge there with that drive. So good defense from Grace Galloway, who is making sure she's keeping her in front. And we're back into that 1-1.
Well, it's really a 2-3. They tandem to begin the matchup. The top player will cover the ball, and the other player will get wherever the first pass goes.
There's a good high-low action there, and that's going to move Sadie Chason into the line.
That's one of the more effective high-lows that Citadel's been able to execute in this game. They read the angle more effectively, delivered it where it had to be delivered,
and that's player-to-player communication for Sadie to know when to make that move, so that I think it was Kelsey who made that pass from the foul line to make sure she knows where to hit her so that she's able to get a nice look.
You
at
have to pass the
basket.
basketball where your teammate can catch it and do something with it, and where the other team cannot. Cannot steal it. They can get a hand on it maybe, but they can't steal it.
So unfortunately, we don't see a finish on these shots, but Citadel is able to get the rebound, and there's Sophia with the three. The rebound and the three.
Free throws are critical, and if you're not making them now, you better get in the gym and spend some extra time.
Olivia Logan with the ball going downhill, and she's going to finish nice high up off the glass. Again, she's
got touch.
She has a great touch, and she's able to know how to take that contact from her defender. So we're going to look to see, do they move that zone? And there's Grace Galloway. That's her third three.
Yeah. I think this may be an important discovery. I don't know what she's been doing in practice, but so far in this game, she's been the most effective threat from three for Citadel.
So we have Ava Parker who's going to pass the ball over, and that's a little bit of a long shot from Claire Conrad. And we're going to have some substitutes coming in. So we're going to see Freya Askiam come back in for Kelsey Matheson, who gave some good minutes for Citadel. And then we also are looking at...
Okay, I think this is more, again, an experiment here to see, again, a couple of new kids, put them in different combinations, see what happens.
Yeah, and I think players in this situation where they may be looking at it and think the game is over, these are valuable minutes for them as well. So this is an opportunity for them to go out and use these minutes meaningfully.
Nice.
Keep playing. And there's a nice breakaway pass up the court for Sophia.
Very well
Das.
delivered by Stella Niedermeyer on that one. Location, touch, timing.
So we have the ball movement again from the West. Nice. Good shot decision. And Freya's going to come up with that rebound.
Idea good, delivery a little off.
But that'll come. You need to have these experiences
I
to...
mentioned location, touch, timing. That one was a little high, and the velocity was a little, not quite what was needed. Needed to go a little softer. Only she could have caught
See
that.
Maria Davion bringing the ball up. This is the other thing I noticed about the West is they have a lot of interchangeable players that are able to play multiple roles on this team. And I think Trevor Walters' coach has to be pretty happy about that heading into this 2024-2025 season. Great pass
There
from
it is.
Freya and
Nice
a nice
rebound.
finish by Sadie.
Yeah, the only player I'm not familiar with is the number 1 kid, Shayla Bears.
So Shayla is a grade 10 player. I had a chance to see her play in her minor games, and I'm happy to see her in a West uniform. So she's going to take this shot a little bit long, but I mean definitely the range to take it. And
Her skills will come, but the pace at which she's playing, defensively particularly, fits in perfectly with
It does.
other teammates.
so that was Shady Saison with the layup off the glass and some defensive pressure here, but it's going to stay with Halifax West. So Maria Davion's going to start this play, coming back to the inbounder Ava. Double team.
Nice kick.
This is a good shot selection. There's nice defense there too. I think offense, defense, that was a nice
The
set
D
for
forced
both.
Allie to shot fake and put it on the floor, which is a little tougher than just catch and shoot.
So we've just a little more than 6 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Ball's coming back into Stella Niedermeyer with that three-point shot, and we're going to see Conrad come away with the board, and that's going to start the...
Got the foul there, but again, I've been impressed by Freya's play off the ball. She deflected the first one. The foul, she reached, but she basically prevented the easy layup in the first one. And she's done a number of things, as I say, with loose basketballs.
So
and I
Allie
believe she made a
McLean's
nice
at the
feed
line
down here.
again. I'm pretty sure, I don't have stats in front of me, but I think she's now 7 for 7 from the line. So I think she's shooting 100%.
Violation. Again,
I'll keep
yeah,
her at 100%.
Allie doesn't miss too many free throws. But think about the West team. They, as a team, do not miss very many free throws. And that's a big factor. I talked about the importance of rebounding, free throws. Free throws. Modern players sometimes don't understand just how important they are.
So Sophia's going to get this ball, and we see number 2 for Citadel, Hannah Roop, enter the game, a grade 10 student.
Angle.
So that's going to stay with Citadel.
Tough attempt. You'll notice, again, the experienced team here, the West, they're not going to foul you on that because they
Right.
understand that you're at a tough angle. So if you make it, hats off to you. But we're not going to give you 2 free ones.
So we're going back into this 2-3 zone off of the inbound play.
Not enough movement. There it is.
And
Good read.
you really have to spread your offense when you have a zone packed in like that. Like, that's ultimately what you want to do, is spread your offense so the zone has to be stretched. When you have a packed in zone, it's one of the hardest things to work against, no matter how proficient you are. And that's a great finish by number 2, Ava McNutt, who has had a successful game thus far.
Yeah, and the big thing that happened on that last one for Citadel was a set play, and it just took too long to unfold. It's supposed to be a double screen late, but the positioning of the double screeners was a little too far in.
So that play down there by Citadel, I think that, we see the baseline pass dropped into the block, and Sadie's able to finish this. Nice step back three is going to stay with Halifax West, as Shayla Bayers is able to force Freya to push that ball
Again,
out of
because
bounds.
of the active O board stuff, and again, you don't have to be a great leaper. Most of these are relatively on the floor, these boards, but if you get there, you can affect things.
So we're going to head back down to Citadel's end. Sophia's going to bring up this ball. She's moving the zone.
Nice cut. There it is. Another factor, I haven't mentioned it, but too often against zones, people think you can move the ball on players really rapidly and then get cuts through, but also the dribble can be used against a zone to draw a second defender, then pass. And you can create good things using the dribble as long as you understand what you're trying to do with the dribble.
Sophia is going to be, she hit the first one of her 2 free throws, and rebound by Ava McNutt on that second one. I think what Sophia did there too is, like you said, when that second defender went, she found that gap space.
Yep.
And makes the pass easy, because sometimes too, coach, you can still draw that defender, but if you don't have the right angle for that pass, or the person is in the right angle, and I think she found that sweet spot where, the defender was drawn, but the pass could still be made.
Yeah, and it was a delayed cut, which is often when you will get that gap around what I call the dots, the dotted semicircle, which some gyms still have, some gyms don't.
Right.
But the dots is an important offensive reference point.
So just a little over 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter. I like both teams are continuing to play, and we're seeing a lot of bench players, so great opportunity for all players. We're going to see Alea Allison come into the game.
Now, that one there, Sophia was calling for the skip, but if she had moved up to the diagonal, foul line extended one, what I call a slant. It's like a diagonal from above the foul line extended. She would have been able to her teammate would have been able to see her and throw the skip pass. By going down the corner there, it's just too tough a vision and a pass to make.
So we have Talia coming back into the game. And it's going to be a quick foul by Stella Niedermeyer, so Grace Galloway is going to replace her.
Hopefully some of that made sense, but it's just true. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal.
So we see the ball in Allie McLean's hands. And
nice
spin, nice spot. So, even though I mentioned earlier, Bev, that this Halifax West team is very versatile, you see lots of players being able to be flexible within the roles. I do feel like you see Allie and Olivia Logan definitely as the floor generals. There's a nice 3 from Sophia from that corner.
They're 2 of the strongest individual players probably in the province. And they play well together, and they play very well with their teammates, who play very well with them.
That mid-range 2 is going to be hit by Ava McNutt.
And she does that very well. Plus penetration and making free throws.
So some ball movement. Alea's going to end up with that tipped rebound.
Yep.
And Ava's going to draw the foul, and Freya is going to head to the line for 2 free throws.
Good find by, I think, Galloway on that one. Found her. It was a nice find anyway. Whoever they were in crowd, but they got themselves under control, made the nice find, allowed Freya to have the opportunity.
The ball movement was good, and then also the people were moving when they didn't have the ball. So that doesn't allow the defense to sit, and
movement of players and a basketball. And the other thing I talk to players a lot about is avail. You've got to move to improve. You've got to move to. You're so open that the passer will be embarrassed if they don't get it to you.
So Freya hits the second of 2. And we see Lyric LePage, who also has been very active, like you said, both sides of the ball this evening, bringing it up and starting. So it's going to come back down to Lyric, and then there
Another
again
example.
you see Freya's hands in there. That's going to disrupt that play and momentum.
And note that she did not foul. You know, she didn't reach. She got her feet there, and then she used her hands.
And those are intangibles that don't necessarily show up on the game sheet, but you want to have those players there. She's going to create a turnover.
Crucial. Didn't quite see her teammate
Good
in time,
patience
but
here
that's
on
okay.
offense, but we see, again, West set up back into this 2-3.
Now, remember I talked about the use of the dribble to penetrate. She was a little out of control there, but if she had stayed down, she had a nice little dish to a teammate in the short corner, created by the dribble penetration.
So I believe that foul was on Allie McLean. Nope, it wouldn't be. She isn't on. Sorry, that foul is on Claire Conrad.
Made them both clean. The Galloway kid has shown us some shooting touch tonight here, which will be important for Citadel going forward, as we presume.
Sophia guarding Olivia Logan. Again, you've seen
Again,
Reyes.
nice recovery. Lyric. She's dynamic. You know.
And Freya's going to come back with that turnover.
Yeah, needs to put a little bit more on that. Nice take.
So that's Grace Galloway, and we're going to get a stop and play for
The West getting
sub.
some of their kids, less experienced kids, into the game now. But this, you know what? We'll talk briefly after the thing ends. But it's for Citadel, there are some discoveries that are available tonight.
Yeah. And, you know, when we look at the scoreboard, it is a 20-point lead, but they've actually closed it. So they've done some work in here that won't, again,
And
show
again.
up. There's Freya again being active on the ball, and that's going to lead to 2 free throws.
Yeah, on that one, that's one where, again, Lyric might have been better off not to foul because, again, Sophia was off balance, didn't quite have great possession of the ball, probably was going to overshoot that.
And in a different situation, too, Coach is, you know, a different game. 129, closer score. That could be something that changes.
But habits are habits, yes, exactly. Form the habit now, and then in that close situation, that could be a difference maker.
So Sophia makes 1 of 2. And it's a 19-point lead.
Aha,
So Grace is going to
nice.
move the ball, attack and kick, and we're
Yep.
going to see an and one. So here we're going to see Talia end up at the line. Not a bad set there.
What was good there was that each of the players involved with those penetration and exchange kept themselves in balance, under control, and made good choices. They did not force the issue or
So
rush.
here we see Leah Allison, who
Nice
got
putback.
the board off the free throw, and she scores her 2 points and off that rebound. And
Freya again.
nice.
Nice.
So it's a good finish by Sophia Das.
And a nice dish by Galloway. Yep. I wondered whether she walked, and it wasn't clear whether they were going to call
But
it
a
or not.
good movement. So that give
Yep.
and go, make sure you get the ball and you keep moving.
Now again, the West have their less experienced kids on the floor, so that's a factor. But nonetheless, some of the Citadel kids who were not playing that key role early in the game have emerged.
So we're going to see a shot by Claire Conrad. It's a little bit long. And we got 28 seconds left in the game. Sophia's going to come again and finish that layup and end up back on the line. So we're going to have a Halifax West foul that puts her at the line.
And the West coaches can keep time. So they know that the game is highly unlikely that they're going to get it now. They're giving the end of their bench kids a chance to get some experience.
Sophia finishes that three-point play, and we're down to 25 seconds with it, 80-88. So we're going to see West actually put back in the starters.
And again, because that turnover happened without the clock moving, they can keep time. And with the time don't move, we do.
Right.
So the troops come back.
Again, learning experiences for the players as they get on the court, understanding time, score,
all of the above.
Right, so not giving up the foul for the three-point plays. These are opportunities for these young female players to learn from these moments and how to take care of a lead. Or, as we see Citadel, make sure you play till the end of the game.
Yep. And the interesting thing, again, we're not in practice every day, so these may not be discoveries for Citadel, but it seems to me that some of these kids who were not getting major minutes in the first half have really emerged in the second half, including when the West had their players on the floor. There were still some of these kids that did some very positive things. So, again, we talked diagnostics. That's part of it. And as you say, this is very early in a long season.
Right, and I mean, I think both teams have shown some really great positive moments that coaches can build off. We expected the West to be a strong team.
They will be, there's no question. They were provincial finalists last year and maybe the year before as well.
Well, they had some undefeated seasons with some of these players where they didn't, they... Which is not easy to do. So Olivia Logan's going to get the ball, which is a good habit. But here we see Freya again with her hands in there,
too
keeping
far
it
under,
active. And Grace Calloway's going to take that three.
In and out.
Yeah, Alea Allison active, and Sophia's going to finish with the 2.7 seconds left in the game. And West can dribble it out, but we see 84-88 as a foul here, just with 1 second left.
Well, the final score is a bit cosmetic, but very positive, certainly, for the Citadel kids. And from the West's point of view, they may change the timing of when they empty the bench the next time out. But it's...
so we have the final second, that... doesn't move the clock.
Odd the clock didn't stop because it was touched in bounds, or didn't start any.
I think, the table has to wait to see the official's hands down. I didn't actually see that official drop the hand,
okay.
So that's typically the cue. There we go.
Yep.
And that will close out this game. So 88-84 for Halifax West. And like you said, the score doesn't necessarily describe the game, but early season, definitely a game that both teams are going to be able to take some information from and build from. And looking forward to seeing them both continue to play the rest of the season.
A lot of info for both teams.
Very much
and probably more for Citadel, actually, because the West is, they know who their players are and so on, and they were trying to get the inexperienced kids on the floor, and it did what it was never going to do, but it did it more than I think anybody would have projected.
Which is great for Citadel.
And that's great for Citadel because they went after it. They got after it.
So thank you so much. I get to pinch hit today with the game, and it definitely was a great game to team up with you and chat basketball. Looking forward to these young ladies being able to continue to grow the rest of the season, and I know you'll be carrying games for all those people who've been listening on Maritime Athletics.
It's been a pleasure to do this with you.
Thanks. All right.
Thank you.